Hi everyone, this is Mustafa Bayrak, a retired teacher of English. I've been dealing with English for over 50 years. What am I doing now is that I am trying to shed light on learning English, in fact, on acquiring English. So welcome to my channel, English Acquiring. In the first part of this program, I have completed making videos on acquiring English from the very beginning to the very end, of course, according to the globally accepted levels of English as elementary level, intermediate level, and advanced level. So from now on, we are going to start making videos only about speaking English. So we are going to make speaking English videos. So in this part again, we will have three components as harmony 4, harmony 5, and harmony 6. So especially this in the background, harmony 4, includes topic discussions. So according to my way of presenting lessons, there should be an example sentence about a word or speech pattern or a topic, a discussion topic. So according to that example sentence, a question is asked, and of course, naturally, an answer is waited. So in this part, we are going to discuss more than 40 topics. So, but of course, I prepared them not just for making use of or using 40 articles or materials. I prepared them by making use of hundreds of articles about that certain topics. For example, our first topic is about learning in general, learning new things about learning, yes. Now, I believe that it is really original, and I hope you will take it, you will accept it as useful. Okay, then without wasting time, let me share the first presentation of Harmony 4, which is about topic discussions, and see our first topic, learning. Yes. Okay, so this is the first unit, first tour, I call it tour, of Harmony 4, and it includes 10 trips, 10 lessons. Okay, in general, at the end of this tour, we will have studied learning, how to learn, learning styles, education, training, and towards the end, as the 9th and 10th subjects, happiness and family life. And by the way, let me remind you that each tour with its 10 trips will be a playlist. Okay. So this is the first lesson. first lesson, first trip of the first playlist of 10 videos. Okay. Now, by the way, I am also very excited that for the first time, I will use ChatGPT OpenAI. Yes, as you know, ChatGPT was launched less than a year ago. Yes, not a year ago, about 9 months ago, and I find it very useful. And for example, I asked ChatGPT to write a poem with 70 words, also using the words that I gave it. Okay, for example, dreams, aspire to learn, reading, listening, conscience, etc., etc. By using these words, ChatGPT wrote this poem. It is really interesting. Yes, in my opinion, it includes something connected with poetry, artistry. Yes. Okay. Let me read the poem. In the renaissance of our dreams, we aspire to learn. With open hearts and minds, our wisdom shall discern. Through reading, listening, the intellect shall soar as lifelong learning opens every door. The mental and emotional, a dance of self-control, balancing the physical and spiritual, and conscience as our goal. In this journey of renewal, our souls take flight to gain the treasures of knowledge in the eternal quest for light. Quest means research, research something to learn. Yes, I think question comes from the word quest. Yes, it is really nice. It is really beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead. Now, this is the first page of our first video. For our first video. Okay, learning, giving careful consideration to knowledge and analyzing learning. Dialogue 1. Reading is a way of, is a method of, is a technique of. Reading is a way of both learning and teaching. What else is another way of learning? What is it? What else? Doing what else? Yes, doing what else is a way of learning. So let's see. I advise you to focus on the example sentence and try to give your answer according to the example sentence. Doing what? Okay. Talking, dreaming, listening, touching. Okay. Always, this is a give again, learning is fun. It says learning is fun. Always be listening, be reading, and be observing. So observing is another way of learning. Observing, verb ing. Yes, observing is another way of learning. Dialogue 2, listening is another way of learning. What are reading and listening supported by? What are they supported by? To gather new things from around us. Of course, 5 perception, if we remember the 5 perception actions, in addition to reading and listening, we can also smell, taste, touch. Yes. So vision is connected with eyes, reading, and hearing is connected with ears, so listening. So reading and listening are supported by. This is important. This is your job. Of course, this is a speaking lesson, but it doesn't mean that we neglect writing, listening, and reading. Okay, they are also important and vital, essential. Yes. So what is our answer here? Reading and listening are supported by smelling, tasting, and touching as well, to get data, to get information, to get knowledge from around us. Okay, dialogue 3. Reading and listening are supported by seeing, smelling, tasting, and touching to collect new things from the outer world. Where is all that information processed and sorted, organized? Yes, let's think about it. Of course, by the way, let me tell this as well. We don't have to give true, correct answers, I mean, contextually. We can say, oh, I have no idea about this. Yes, we can talk even to ourselves like this. But as far as I remember, or let me tell that maybe it is possible that, yes, it is possible that it is processed in our brain. Yeah, okay. But if you are sure, we can directly say all that information is processed and sorted out in our brain. Yes. Learning is acquiring knowledge, isn't it? Yes, basically, as a starting point, yes, learning is acquiring knowledge, first and foremost. All that information or data is processed and organized in our brain. Doesn't our brain receive information from our inner world? Of course. In my opinion, of course, our brain receives information from our inner world as well. Of course, our brain receives data from our inner world. Through what? By means of what? Yes. Through what? By means of what does our brain receive that data from our inner world? Yes, it is clear that our brain receives that data by means of self-control. Shall I write here? By means of, also very practical and very useful. Through also means by means of. And let me add by way of. Yeah, by way of. Not by the way, okay, not by the way, but by way of. Not by way of. What does our brain receive that data? Our brain also receives that data by way of our sense of self-control, sense of auto-control, sense of self-control, or just self-control. Let's go on. Dialogue 6. Our brain receives that data from the inner world through the self-control or auto-control. What example can be given to prove this? Yeah, to illustrate that ability of our brain. Yes, what example? What kind of example can be given to illustrate that ability of our brain? 7, a house. Yes, let's imagine a house, okay? Imagine a house with 5 windows, symbolizing 5 perception actions, windows to the outer world, and with 1 window to the inner world, symbolizing our auto-control, our self-control. Yes, can be given as an example. Do they function? I mean, do the perception actions and self-control function or work at the same time or alternatively? I'm not sure, again, I am not sure about it, but I can say that sometimes they function at the same time and sometimes they function alternatively. Maybe like this or maybe like that. Yes, our purpose is, our basic purpose is to be able to speak in English. Okay. Self-control is used in our psychological world to control, to discipline, to train our inner powers or inner energies. What are those inner powers? Yes. Those inner energies or those inner powers are our intellect, desire, and anger. Do they really need to be controlled? Yes, of course. They really need to be controlled. Without control, they give harm to an individual, to a person. They are like, each of them is like fire, for example, just as we have to control the fire because the fire is useful in its proper place, in the fireplace. So the controlled form of intellect, desire, and anger is useful. Actually, the controlled form of them is useful. Controlled intellect, controlled desire means trained. Yes, disciplined. Disciplined anger is useful. The other, uncontrolled anger is harmful. Okay. Now, specific from the word, do you remember specific and specificity? Specificity versus generalizability. Generalizability. Okay, generalization is one of the 2 characteristics of our intelligence. Yes, according to the experts. Experts say that, yes, experts say that our brain has got 2 very good characteristics. One of them is generalization. The other one is isolation or specificity. Both are true. Specificity and specification is also true. What is the other good characteristic of our intelligence? Yes, isolation is also a good feature, a good characteristic of our intelligence. Okay, we need a change, the image says. We need a change every day, every week, or every hour, every moment. Yeah, we need a positive change. The need for a change is defining a distinguishing feature of us. Yes, as we are. Now that we are human beings, we are always in need of a change. Okay. Is a defining distinct feature of us. How important is it to be aware of how important is it to be aware of change? It is very important. It is very important to be aware of change, because by means of that awareness, we can direct, we can channelize that change positively, rationally, yes, scientifically, artistically, ethically. Yeah. Dialogue 12. Self-awareness in life. Yeah, self-awareness in life. We have the ability to notice, to recognize, yeah, to notice what we have. Or we have the ability to notice what we are, who we are, what we have, what we do, what we are doing now. For example, shall I stop now? Shall I drink something? Yes, I have to drink something. Okay, so this is called awareness, okay, and self-awareness, for example. What is the name of that ability? What is it? What is the name of that ability? The name of that ability is awareness, or it is awareness, recognition. 13, the beauty of the awareness of living in a world of wonder only exists in us. What is there? What is there? If there is awareness, there is self-control, self-criticizing, self confidence. Yeah, what is there if there is awareness? If there is awareness, it means that we are, or we know what we will do. Okay. Now, how can revival? Yeah, how can a large, a famous revival, renaissance, renewal hinge on learning, depend on learning? They say, experts say that renaissance depends on learning. Without learning, you cannot imagine a renaissance. So at the bottom, at the base, so renaissance is based on learning. Learning makes up a renaissance. Okay. Learning goes on and on from birth to death. What can be said about learning from cradle to grave? Yes, we can say that because we are human beings, we are always in need of learning from cradle to grave. What kind of role does home life play on this learning? Of course, home life plays an important role. Home life plays an important role on this context of learning. It starts at home. Learning starts at home and goes on at school, and then after school it goes on in the society. Okay, of course, yeah, this is a reality. We can start like this. It's a fact that parents and teachers are not of course, parents and teachers are not doctors, psychologists, sociologists, judges, poets, or writers yet, but however, they have to benefit from biology, psychology, sociology, law, and literature. Why do they have to have something to say on those disciplines? Because they are really important and vital. Yes, they are vital, essential for learning something and for having our children learn something. Yeah, for the sake of our children, education, those knowledge sources, yeah, pure sources are really important. Scientific sources. Okay. So the image is about parenting styles. Okay, so discipline is very important, of course, but freedom is also important for a child. So there should be a harmony. There should be a balance between discipline and freedom. We cannot just say that freedom is necessary for my child or freedom is necessary for my child. Both of them true, but not just one of them. So what matters here is that the balance between the two is important. Okay, now again, I asked ChatGPT to summarize this text about learning based on the basic ideas in it. And the ChatGPT said that as a summary, of course. Here is a concise summary of this presentation. Learning is a multifaceted process that involves various different methods, including reading, listening, and sensory experiences. Information collected through these methods is processed and organized in the brain, which also receives data from the inner world. Self-control plays a role in processing inner world data, with the example of a house with windows illustrating this concept. Inner powers such as intellect, desire, and anger exist within us and may require control. Intelligence is characterized by features like generalization and isolation. Change is a defining aspect of human existence, and awareness of this change is vital, essential. The ability to notice and appreciate what one has is a unique human quality. Awareness is linked to the beauty of living in a world of wonder. Learning is a lifelong journey, and the phrase learning from cradle to grave is emphasized. Parents and teachers, while not experts, yeah, this is a reality, in various disciplines, should draw upon knowledge from various fields to benefit their roles in education and guidance. Yes, this is the end of our presentation, and I hope it was useful, and thank you for now. See you next time.